We just got out of seeing The Monkey at AMC Theaters. Isn't that right, guys?
Mm-hmm. What do you think of it, Luke?
I thought it was okay. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was definitely different than Longlegs, and I assume Blackcoat's Daughter, because it was a comedy. But I liked it.
Okay, Mark?
I liked this movie. I didn't like every part of this movie. It seems like this is kind of like what Osgood Perkins' version of a comedy is. And, like, I actually liked it a lot more where it got a little bit crazier at the end. And we are going to do spoilers, too. But, like, when it got crazier at the end, I actually liked it more.
We should just do spoilers off the bat.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah. But, like, when it went to showing Bill was the one who was, like, doing it now, and Theo James was really fun. I thought Theo James was really funny. It was just, like, other stuff, and the deaths in it were, like, supposed to be presented as funny, but I wasn't finding them very... I don't know.
Well, we're three people who don't like watching people die.
Yeah, that's true. It did, real quick, and then I'll pass it to Kelly, but it felt like a better version of a Final Destination.
Yes.
It was Oz Perkins' version of a Final Destination movie.
Yes.
I really liked it. I had a great time. I think it's a really nice, like, quick movie to see in theaters, you know? I love that Oz Perkins, movie about your relationship with your mother is like a religious psychological nightmare, and his movie about your relationship with your father is like an absurdist gore fest comedy. It was so different, but I really liked the cinematography in it, and I had a great time, and it was so funny when the very first person we see on screen is Adam Scott.
Yeah,
that was crazy. And then Oz Perkins himself was in the movie with his mutton chops, which was really funny.
Yes.
So that was cool.
I was thinking, like, well, how old would their dad be at that point, at the end of the movie? Because,
Adam Scott?
Yeah. I mean, because wasn't it a plane that went down?
Yeah.
It could have been his
true.
plane because it was always connected to him somehow.
That's true.
So that's what I thought it was, like, it was his dad's plane that was flying over.
Do you think that he was dead or not? Because I kind of got the impression that he eventually died from the monkey.
Oh, maybe.
But if he had it in his possession the whole time, because they just said he never came back.
I'm not sure.
But it could have been him
just
dying
left
then.
Yeah. I like that they don't explain how this thing comes back, and like they make a comment about it. It's just like it teleports, and you know that. Like, it's just like it just comes back, and so you can chop it up. He burned it alive, and it just came back. Like, and I like when they don't explain it.
Yeah.
I think over explaining would have been like taken away from just like the weirdness of it. And this is like a weird movie.
Yeah.
I think it's like intentionally weird. Yeah. I liked it for that. I just wasn't big on like every single part, so I thought it was good, just not great for me.
I think it was the right direction to go with the story, though, because it's a story about a toy monkey that kills people. Mm-hmm. So I think the right direction is to make it a little bit silly.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I had a really good time.
Me watching this reminded me of Terrifier 3 in the theater, because every time a kill was going to happen, I cringed and leaned towards you, and then covered my eyes.
And
it wasn't as...
Oh, no.
Hell,
oh, no.
But it reminded me of it, because I would cringe the entire time.
Yeah. But Mark, they had the snake
That
part.
Snake? Oh, my God. New nightmare. Now I'm just freaked out of golf holes, and I was like thinking about my cup holder, like what if a snake was in there. That part was bad for me. That actually freaked me out.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like legitimately, I was like, fuck, I never thought of that.
If it was in your cup holder?
Or if it was in some, like...
I used to think it would come out of the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
I love Oz Perkins. And I love his movies.
Yeah, I feel like this was a quick, like, a smaller movie than, like, Longlegs, obviously.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is, like, him doing comedy in between doing his, like, horror stuff. But it's also horror, because that's just how he does it. So I would recommend seeing it. I probably would say this is, to me, not as good as Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Not as good as Chicken Little, but still decent and still worth watching. And I'd say still worth watching in theaters, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like a quintessential...
So sorry for this.
A quintessential theater movie, though? Like, horror movie that you go with your friends and you're like, oh, wow, ew.
Yeah, very ew, sometimes.
I think the people in the theater, are lying to themselves that they think death is funny.
Yeah.
I do think that's why people laugh. It's because you're like,
well,
what?
I understand the absurdity of it, you know, but they would just laugh at, like, the idea of people dying.
Yes.
Anyway,
correct.
Whatever.
Sometimes it wasn't absurd and they laughed.
Yeah. But, yeah.
That's all I
Good
have.
time.